Welcome everybody to another episode of Hollow Cube. Today we are joining Igthife.
Hello.
AKA Sam, the moderator of the Gamers Brew. He's been working on an incredibly huge project. If you see from the mini-map, you can kind of start to see a little bit of the scope of this. So let's go ahead and flip this. Wow, you dug out a lot here. So what is this?
So, the original idea was just to build a simple witch farm. I was actually going to do one where I didn't even have to dig a perimeter. I was going to do something kind of like one that I saw Exuma mess around with, where you could just literally pull them straight up and, you know, I wouldn't have to do digging. I could just AFK up high, but I saw Mumbo start his project on Hermitcraft. I bet some of you guys have seen that. He decided to dig a somewhat decent-sized perimeter. I think his was something like 40 from each direction out, so he would just have a perimeter where you could AFK and get the drop thing similar to this design. Oh, there's some go. And yeah.
And a slime?
So, well, the slime, this is a slime, surprisingly, so yeah, I need to put carpets there, but someone kept filling it full of water to attempt to get witch heads. So.
Was that Slayin Lord?
Slayin Lord, yes. Wasn't an issue, it was great. He gave me one, so I'm happy, but yeah, so originally this was going to be a fairly small perimeter, and then I decided I would just make it a full 250 or full-size perimeter, so you could AFK anywhere in the center without having mob spawning, which means I could actually, you know, do stuff here without filling up a mob gap, without affecting other players.
So what is the perimeter?
128. Any direction, 128. It ends up being a sphere, but it's, you know, easier to dig out a box than a sphere. But if you're standing right about here, if you can see, like, these three sides are done to the full distance. So whenever someone tells you to light up the caves around you if you want to stop mobs from taking up the spawn limit, that's how far you actually have to go, which is a pretty decent distance. So rather than doing that, we just started removing everything. Slayin Lord came over and helped me. I was just out here working. We can fly up to one of the machines real quick and I can show you how we were doing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So these machines right here, responsible for this hole for the most part. I use some normal just back and forth TNT machines to make a nice clean edge along the sides. But this was a machine I found designed by Rayworks and the people on the Prototech server. Provide a lot of pretty cool machines that I've found so far.
We'll provide a link in the description below.
Yes, this was one that I found. This one can basically make you a perimeter while you AFK if you ride in one of these carts, assuming you're on a completely vanilla server. We are on a server that is basically vanilla, but we are running some data packs and stuff, which require some extra server resources.
And for those of you who don't know, a data pack is?
Basically just like some extra resources. Like we have one that allows us to have any mob drop its head, so you can collect heads from all the mobs and stuff like that. Like it's nothing that really changes gameplay so much as just allows you to have more fun. Like another one allows if any one player sleeps, everybody goes to bed, which is really nice when you have a lot of players on. So it's stuff like that. There's nothing really modding the gameplay per se, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it does create some issues with this machine. Now, I'm going to start it, remove this block, that's the keystone, and it'll start flying. It dupes TNT as it flies, and you can see it just destroying everything. The issue is it's run by minecarts, which are like the main driving force behind this one. And due to some of the server ticking differences, the minecarts occasionally fall off. I've had to modify this design a little bit to get it more reliable on this server, and it works decently well, but you have to stay really close to it. I have to stay within 2 chunks of it all the time to make sure the carts don't fall off, which means you can't sit here in the middle.
Yeah, you can't AFK though, right? Is that it?
Yeah, it breaks typically every 2 to 3 passes. The minecarts will fall off. So, you know, stand here as the carts travel back and forth.
It doesn't seem like the left side is even dropping TNT anymore.
The left side only dupes on the way down. That was one of the modifications. I couldn't get it to work with both units going both ways.
Oh, okay.
It was part of the give and take of the machine. I got it to function, and as you see it comes back, that station right there was shifted over, and now they're both duping again.
Is that what the other station does as well?
The other station actually just sends it directly backwards. It literally just bounces off that, and this station moves over. The station moves over, so it'll keep up with this. But this machine will only shift over whenever it hits that station over there. So it goes down and back. So basically, for every single block that it covers, it drops 4 TNT on every single block. Well, in theory, this one drops 3 because I only have one unit that goes one way, which means it can't quite cut through some of the really tall mountains all the way. If you look down there, you'll see some stuff left behind.
Yeah, that's you just have to clear out with a pickaxe, right?
Yeah. It depends on how much there is. If there's too much, I'll just set up some small TNT flying machine that goes back and forth.
Well, it looks pretty damn efficient.
Oh yeah, it's definitely nice. It still takes quite a few hours. I mean, you see it takes about a minute or 2 for every pass. Well, it takes about 2 minutes to go down and back across this width, so you count that for every single one of the 250 blocks. That's, 250 minutes, assuming it never breaks. When it breaks, a lot of times it adds an extra minute, so you almost have to double that just to do one pass.
Well, it seems like it didn't break this time.
No, we got lucky, which I'm glad. It makes it look like I know what I'm doing. But
that's right, guys. Sam, the Redstone Wizard.
I mean, the changes I had to make were fairly insignificant. I added another cobblestone fence to the right of it. If you watch the original video, you'll see that wasn't there. The issue is, with this module right here, there was an extra block right here, which is an observer that triggers the whole movement.
I can't see right there.
Well, if you come over here, you can see there's an observer attached to the top of the flying machine right below the redstone block.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's what's actually triggers the whole reset thing. And because that extra block was there, I couldn't have the two-way TNT duping.
Oh.
So it works now because of these extra cobblestone blocks and the fact that we're starting from the east and heading to the west. There's no other, or starting on the west, heading to the east. There's no other way I could get this machine to function, but... So, the whole purpose of all of this, though, was the witch farm, which we can now show you.
Yep.
So this is the witch farm. This is designed by El Mango.
I see you're also a thing above me, but do my best here.
Yeah, I am one layer above you, but this was a design by El Mango. The one that designs all redstone, for anybody that knows who he is. But it's a shifting floor witch farm. This right here was initially a witch hut. That was the whole reason why this thing was built where it is. And as you can just see, the floors shift every now and then, and because soul sand is actually slightly lower, as they shift, their feet kind of clip through the block next to them. Because those are slabs, they fall through, and they fall down the next floor. And if you see, each floor is activated at a slightly different time. The top floor goes first, then the next floor down, then the next floor down. So the witches fall all the way through this, down into the kill chamber down the bottom. And pretty cool design, if you ask me. I think he did a great job designing this one. What we're standing on right now is actually some extra lighting circuits that I added to shut this farm down. I'm actually going to go down real quick, Brew, you can stay up there, and when I shut this farm off, not only does it shut down the redstone clock up there, so it takes less resources, but some convenient lights show up that allows you to have a better view of the inside, and make sure witches won't farm or spawn anymore, so I can actually use some other mob farms in the same area. So,
nice.
A little bit of an add-on, something really easy to add.
So, the trapdoors here, what were those for?
These trapdoors are actually because without the trapdoors, the mobs would just move with the soul sand. They won't actually get pushed through.
Oh.
Well, because the trapdoors are there, they actually have to stay where they are, and that forces them downwards rather than just, shifting side to side when it shifts.
Alright, that makes sense.
And yeah, pretty basic design. It just works with basic fall damage. If you fly around some, you can see just a drop down to some hoppers, which you saw at the beginning of the video.
Speaking of which, it looks like you have a couple other farms here attached to it.
Yeah, there's a sugarcane farm right here. This was actually another pretty cool farm. I've never seen anybody do it quite like this. I was watching one of El Mango's farms, and there's another person on the server, Slayer Dan, and they had some ideas just on the basic ones, and this sugarcane farm that's right above you right now, this thing, just kind of what I came up from there. If you want to climb up the ladder real quick, I can just show you. It's just trying to fit the most efficient farm, or I was trying to make a smallish farm that produces a lot, and fairly simple farm. It just has a hopper clock that goes up, and there's a bunch of different slime block ladder chains across here with 2 pistons that are powered. Excuse me. But whenever the clock ticks, you'll see it go one side or the other. There we go. And all the slime blocks get pulled off to the left. And when a slime block breaks a sugarcane like this, it actually imparts its momentum to the sugarcane, so the sugarcane goes flying farther, so it never actually gets stuck. So this farm has nearly 100% efficiency for gather rates.
Versus pistons.
Versus pistons, which when they break it, you know, they kind of just can go up or down or any direction.
Could this work on Bedrock as well, or?
The momentum didn't seem to work the same on Bedrock. It seemed to fail. I did actually mess around with it a little bit. I couldn't notice a difference personally. It seemed like it was just the same as breaking it with pistons.
Okay.
So, sadly, I don't think it'll work, but...
Well, I mean, just good to clarify, a lot of our viewers play Bedrock
Yeah.
versus Java.
Yeah, so then, if you come right inside the main door of the base, this is just
Your
sorting system.
With your witch
All-
head.
Yes, the witch head that was from Saiyan.
Uh,
Lord. It looks really interesting in a frame, but once nice when they're in a frame, they keep their name. But yeah, so this is just drops. We have ridiculous amounts of glass bottles, spider eyes, sugar. We actually gave away a lot of it.
redstone.
Glowstone, cell, redstone's nice. Gunpowder, use a decent amount, but it's actually surprising how little you use for rockets compared to what you might think. And then these last 3 rows are all just sticks because witches drop ridiculous amots of sticks. And these are just
The other side
this
just general
these ones
storage.
in the middle are actually sugarcane. I'd say the farm yields quite a bit for the size. We've
Nice.
gone through quite a bit, and then if you come down a floor, just turned this layer into a bit of a brewery station because you know we get bought.
Ah, there's a little slime boy down here.
Yeah, those are probably some more of Saiyan's pet slimes.
Oh, look
They-
at him, Mr. Hoppy.
Apparently, the slimes can climb ladders.
Can you? Can you climb the ladder?
They have to be moving just right, but if they happen to finish their hop in the right spot, they just float up the ladder. So you'll find them on all the layers of this base. They just kind of go everywhere. Most of them end up through the nether portal if you're in the area too long. So
I want to see it. I want to see him climb the ladder. But
you can't actually get them to do it. They just do it like by themselves. When they're
Oh.
targeting you, they cannot possibly climb it. It's just the way their AI works. But you know, so you can collect any of the stuff from these chests above, like glass bottles or sugar, or spider eyes, anything that you might need for brewing.
that
and,
makes
you know,
it very convenient. You never have to leave the brewing area.
whip, gunpowder, whatever you need. So this is a nice, easy way.
So all that mooing that we're hearing, is this another one of your farms?
Yeah, this was actually the most recent thing that I've been working on. This was loosely, or basically, actually completely based on a farm by Tango Tech. Another YouTuber. As you can tell, I like trying to make things that the people have made. I just try to mess with them, learn about the game more. Maybe someday I'll make my own farms that are more advanced. I mean, sugarcane one's kind of my own farm, but it's still, you know, fairly simple as far as things go. But the basic design of this one is cows can only breed so often, so by having a rotating one, this one's not nearly long enough, but if you make this even longer, what you'd want it as ideally about a rate where they come around about every 5 minutes. That's about the interval animals could breed. Now, due to some server requirements and stuff on this server, I didn't want to make it too big. I didn't want to kill people's computers. I know some people are already having a bit of a difficulty coming into this area because of this farm. Because this is a lot of cows. But the purpose of this farm is, if you will follow me, there is a little area to feed the cows down here. And basically what you end up doing is you take your inventory, you fill it up with something like stone brick or something, you just leave one
Hang
spot
on
in your
a
hand
second.
open.
We'll do a live test here. Hang on. I've got stone.
Okay, so pick up a stack of wheat from chest up to your right.
All right. Now what?
And now you turn on the switch right by your feet, which will start this machine ticking. And what this does is it just drops a wheat, and then has a hopper underneath you, which will unlock every now and then, pick up the wheat, and actually just rotate it. So basically it just produces an infinite cycle of wheat traveling around you. And if you pick it up, great. If not, nothing's lost. But now, you can literally just point your mouse at the cows, hold right click, and AFK overnight if you want. And you will just continuously feed them. and it's actually surprisingly effective, as you'll be able to see when you're...
I literally saw a baby pop out here.
Oh yeah, the babies are going everywhere.
Alright, hang on a second, let me turn this off. And then you said I have to just pop this back into the box here, right?
Yep, just dump any extra wheat back up in the box so it can be recycled by the next user.
Okay.
And what happens to all those babies is their one goes. I don't know if you were able to quite catch that, but
I see them pooping out there.
Yeah, so they all drop down into this water belt right down here, which then comes up this belt, and you can see here some cows come up right here.
Ooh.
And they come up this ladder right up to here.
Oh, there! We just saw one get cooked.
Yep, he ran back into the water. This is the reason why this killing chamber is so big right here is because I was having issues with when I was AFKing here for a decent amount of time, like an hour or so. They started dying due to entity cramming. But there we go. I added a piston, so mobs attempt to go back into water. Apparently, I was not aware the AI was that advanced. So whenever the big cow catches on fire, you'll see he attempts to go back into the water stream right here. But I added a piston to block it as it fires. And eventually, once you get enough babies up here, like if you're running this farm seriously, the cows won't be able to get back out. But just fires the lava for just long enough. If the cows don't make it into the water, they die. Then all the cooked stuff goes down into the chests. I need to build a sorting system for that. But I mean, it's a fairly simple cooking system.
Looks like you're getting a lot of leather for it.
Yeah, I've moved most of the steak to a shop just because, you know.
Almost fell there.
Yep. And then the last part to this farm is right over here. You can see I've got a farmer who collects wheat. I'm working on the next layer right now because one is not nearly enough. I'll probably need at least 2 layers.
Is that what's going on above here?
Yep. So, premise of this farm is you can make some really fancy potato and carrot farms where, you know, you use light levels to manipulate it and they pick up the stuff.
Which we will show you a little later. Sam actually has those already built over at where the base is.
But this is a farmer, and because we can't do anything fancy, I've got a hopper minecart running underneath this entire floor that just does laps of the whole thing. So, and any extra pieces of wheat, like that one floating right there, I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it.
Eventually, the cart will come around. It takes a little bit.
Oh, there it goes.
There we go. And that'll drop it off down into that chamber. So that means you can AFK over here overnight and slowly get wheat.
This has all been incredibly impressive.
Yeah. Pretty nice little setup. Nice
really can't wait to see what you do next with all this.
I'm probably actually going to have to spend some time decorating this area. I mean, if you fly around and look at it, I actually kind of like the way this thing's looking. It's just kind of random things sticking out of it. It kind of just looks like a mad scientist or maybe some sort of crazy witch that likes stone and purple a lot.
Yeah, you
I'll
used
probably do
a lot
something to kind of
a lot of purple.
Pull it together. Well, I mean, it was kind of the witch color. I was going to originally go for purple, but it kind of almost felt too dark, even though it was better than the witch color, and a lot of these purple flowers are fairly easy to buy. Mama's got a nice shop for them, so I could buy the magenta ones cheap for a lot of dye.
And that's Mama Slayer you're talking about, right?
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, it's a nice setup. I'll probably... all these black boxes you're seeing around this area that you've probably been noticing, someone might be asking for, are actually all mob spawners, so I'll probably turn some of those into farms at some point as well. And this thing right here in the back that I bet at least one person's noticed is actually another mob farm that I put together. Now, this thing will be torn down soon and I'll build a better model. This was kind of just an experimental. I'm not quite sure where Bruce at the moment.
Above you.
Okay. But yeah, if you can see this thing over here. Where exactly are you? Have you like pulled one of these spawners?
I don't know if you saw it, but somehow a zombie spawned on the block above you, the obsidian block above you, and fell to its death.
Oh yes, yes. These spawners, as you fly around, if you fly too near them, you will see that the mobs spawn on top of these blocks, and then they'll just jump off and die. It's quite entertaining if you fly past these spawners, especially there's a few really tall ones. But, well, yeah, so that's the plans for this area. I'm also... actually, I'm not sure what else I'm going to build. This Cow Farm is already pushing the server, and even my computer to some degree. So, I'm not sure what else we'll be able to add here without causing too many lag issues, but pretty happy with this farm so far. So
but yeah, that's the whole thing here. We're glad we could show you guys this. Join us next time on HoloCube. Sam and I are actually going to work on our Villager Depot. It's going to be an improved, much larger version of the one that you've seen on Brewpocalypse. So yeah, until next time, I'm Brandon of the Gamers Brew. This has been Sam. Make sure to follow HoloCube activities. You can find links in the description below, and for all of these farms, you can find more links in the description below. Sam has provided for all the farm designs. And until next time, we'd both like to thank you for watching.
have a good one.